Hey guys, so today I'm going to be doing some watercoloring. I haven't done a watercolor with me video in a while, and I just wanted to spend the day doing some watercoloring, and I thought I'd film it for you guys while I did it. So yeah, I'm just gonna kind of explain my process of each little painting that I'm going to be doing, and at the end I actually will be turning all of these little watercolors into a sticker set, so you can head to my Etsy shop and check them out there, or if you want to try them out for yourself, then you can follow along with me and see how I do it. Today is the day of the Lunar New Year that I'm filming this, so I wanted to kind of go with a theme based around that, so maybe paint some moons and some gemstones, and I just wanted to take this time to kind of do some relaxing painting, nothing too complicated or anything. So yeah, I'm gonna start out by doing this watercolor of this little moon. I love doing moons because you can't really go wrong with them, and you can kind of make it however you want without really looking at a reference photo. The one thing that I like doing is focusing a lot of the color on kind of the outsides of the moon to make that rounded structure to it. Once you build up that color in those areas, it kind of creates that spherical shape to it, and once you build up the layers, it also kind of looks crater-like in some areas, so that's where I put the darker colors, or the colors that will stand out the most is in those areas that I want the craters to be. So yeah, this is what it looks like when it's all dried, and now I'm going to take a white pen and I'm just going to create more craters in my little moon. And this is how my little moon turned out. Alright, so next I'm going to take out my small ruler and I'm going to draw a triangle, and inside that triangle I'm going to basically do a little galaxy painting. So I'm going to take my watercolor and I'll pick up some blues and some purple and reds, and I'm going to do that little galaxy watercolor in the center of the triangle. The colors that I'll be using in this video are generally going to be all of the same because I kind of wanted to keep that same color palette throughout the whole thing. So I'll just go over the colors that I'm using for you guys in case you are curious about it. So for the blues, I'm using a indigo from Winsor & Newton and a ultramarine blue from Utrecht. For the darker grays and blacks, I'm using my Payne's Gray, and for the red, I'm using my Alizarn Crimson, which is kind of like a red berry color. And then I throw in some teal in there every once in a while, so for that I use my Phthalo Green. And those are basically all of the watercolors that I'm using for this video. So I'm just finishing up with my little galaxy in this triangle, and then I'm going to outline it with my Uni Pen pens, and I'm just using a 0.1 pen, I believe, for this, and I'm just going to add a little bit of extra details with my ink pen. And this is how it turned out. I love the texture that I got with these watercolors, and I love how the three colors turned out together. I think it looks really cool. And now I'm just going to take my Posca extra fine point paint pen marker, and I'm just going to do a little bit of details on the inside because I felt like it was missing something. So the next thing that I wanted to do a kind of little doodle of is a eye, and I think eyes are so cool to draw and they're just so fun. I just added like a little moon in the middle for the pupil, and then I'm mostly going to be doing this in ink and then just adding watercolor in the iris. So I'm just building up my color, and if you see me get that bigger flat brush out, that means I'm just trying to pick up the extra water that is in the watercolor, and this just makes it kind of look like a clouded effect. I did it with the triangle galaxy as well. But yeah, all you need is a bigger brush that has no water on it, so it's completely dry, and that way it just soaks up whatever color or water you put down. Alright, so I'm just finishing up with the inking of the eye, and then I'm going to take this white pen and I'm just going to do some detail work in the iris, and I'm done with this little eye. Next, I'm going to be doing a watercolor of a lotus, and I thought it kind of fit the theme because the lotus flower symbolizes rebirth, kind of like in the awakening of the new moon, so I wanted to do a watercolor of a lotus flower. I just sketched it out and then I erased the harsh lines, and now I'm going to be going in with the same colors I was using before, but this time I'm gonna kind of focus more on the alizarin crimson to get that kind of berry color and a lot of purples in it. I'm making sure to keep each petal separate from each other, and to do this I make sure that the petal directly next to the one I'm painting is completely dry so that they don't all mesh into each other. So you kind of want to go on different sides of the flower and not do all of them at one time in the same area, or else they'll all mesh together. Another thing I'm doing is trying to keep each petal separate by using different colors on each one. So maybe one petal has more alizarin crimson in it and the one next to it has more purple or blue. So yeah, I'm just gonna finish this flower up and then I'm going to add some detail to the bottom with some ink. Once I'm done adding a bit of ink to the bottom, I am done with this lotus flower. Alright, so now I'm going to sketch a little moon, and this is going to actually completely change throughout when I'm painting this. Sometimes things just don't work out and you just kind of have to roll with it. So my original plan was to make a crescent moon, but when I kept working on it, I just completely botched the shape of it and I didn't end up liking it at all. So as you can see here, I'm kind of making it totally different, and I'm gonna change it again in a second, but basically right now I have this crescent moon and I'm just doing some cute little doodles around it. So I'm doing some stars, some flowers coming out of it, just some different shapes, and then I'm going to go in with some more watercolor and actually make it a full moon. If it's really bad, then usually I will just start over from scratch, but a lot of the time you can salvage your painting into something else that you maybe weren't thinking of, and maybe you'll even end up liking it more. So it's definitely worth trying to kind of salvage it and make it into something new, and who knows, maybe you'll like it better than what you originally started with. So yeah, I think it actually turned out really good, and I just am building up that color inside of it, and I'm just gonna add some more doodles to the outside and then go in with the white pen to add some details to the inside as well. And this is how my little moon turned out. So now I'm going to be painting some small gemstones, and I have tried painting gemstones in the past and it turned out really bad, so I'm going in and trying to go in with a fresh mind, and sometimes that's all it takes to make something how you want it. A lot of the time I'll start out watercoloring and it just turns out horribly and I think to myself, oh, I just can't watercolor this item for whatever reason. But really a lot of the time it's just helpful to come back with a fresh mind and a fresh palette, and a lot of the time that will really help in taking a different approach to something. So I definitely wouldn't give up if you are really struggling with something. I would definitely try to come back to it later and see if it works out the second time. Alright, so I'm just doing the same colors that I did before, and I'm focusing a lot of color in certain areas and a lot of water in others, and this will kind of make it look a bit reflective. And for this, I'm using a very small precision brush. That's just what I think will work best for this. And it really helps in getting colors in certain areas and not others. So yeah, I'll just let you guys watch the rest of how I paint these little gemstones. So now I'm just going in with my white pen and I'm just making those lines around the gemstone more structured, and this is how my little gems turned out. And that is the end of this video. I hope you guys enjoyed painting with me, and if you guys try these out for yourself, definitely be sure to tag me on Instagram or Twitter in your photos. And if you are interested in getting these as a sticker set, those will be in my shop by the time this video goes up. And I'm also going to be filming a very exciting video soon showing all of my watercolor supplies, so I'll post that probably within the next month, so definitely keep your eye out for that. Alright, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next time.